that have already gotten access to this very powerful technique to do gene editing across the board. So very, very interesting, very disruptive, very potent, very powerful. But at the same time, as an academic and state employee, I also understand there are caveats. We need to be responsible, we need to be ethical, we need to be reasonable, we need to engage the public, we need to educate the students, we need to educate the world, we need to set an example of how to do things correctly at the right time, with the right dialogue and the right framework and the right regulatory agencies. And you need, when you have great science, to be greatly cautious and responsible and engaging and transparent and reassuring. And this is one of the reasons I'm so excited about CRISPR, is because not just what it can do, not just how cool it is or what it does, or how sound investment, promising investment is going to be moving forward, how many lives it's going to save, and how much it's going to enhance human health and medical research and ag research and animal research and scientific research in general, but also how it's a great example of how a community of scientists, and there's many great CRISPR scientists who are being praised around the world, who are using, not exploiting, but using this opportunity, seizing this opportunity to showcase how science can greatly impact the world, to make it better. And however crazy people can be with CRISPR, the CRISPR craze, Elizabeth Benesi is an interesting expression, right, is fantastic, but because it's so powerful, and arguably the only limitation is our imagination, and scientists are very imaginative, sometimes too much so, you have the responsibility to harness and use and explore this technology responsibly. And what we're seeing thus far is very much that. We're seeing a lot of great scientists take their responsibilities and exploit the opportunities granted to them to educate the public, to engage ethicists, to talk to journalists, to talk to the business. And as an academic, used to wearing many different kinds of hats, I'm not just running a lab, I'm not just writing papers, I'm not just begging for funding, I'm not just trying to train students, but I have this stewardship responsibility of helping other scientists and users of that great technology to better understand how it works, to apply it better, to develop it and make it more powerful, but most critically, to implement it for the benefits of mankind. And to do so under guidelines that are acceptable to all, not just scientists, not just stakeholders, not just the patent office or licensees or business partners, but for the whole world to use and understand and not abuse but just exploit. And I think this is why it's such an interesting phenomenon in and of itself, because it's this one topic that affords a great opportunity to engage into a dialogue that covers all those elements. Where does it come from? How do people use it? Why is it so great? Why is it so powerful? What does it do in nature? What does it do in humans' hands? And how can we take great science, turn that into great technology to solve and address grand challenges that span things from the obvious, like gene therapies and curing diseases and battling viruses and immunotherapies on one end of the spectrum, all the way to things like growing new organs and humanizing pigs to address this, or using CRISPR-based antimicrobials to eradicate and fend off infectious disease and fight the rise of antimicrobial resistance, all the way to making better foods and better fermented foods and healthier cheese and yogurt and better probiotics, to enabling the plant world, to use next generation breeding to enable us to address the shortage of crops that we have pending at a time where humankind is growing so much. Same applies to animal breeding, and the same applies to other issues of biological containment. So you can use CRISPR-based technologies to fight mosquitoes that spread malaria. So think we're touching upon a lot of things here, but I think it's a great example of how one technology, one topic, one discipline, one discovery, one field of science can bring all of society together, the academics, the scientists, the users, the industrials, the financiers, the patients, the regulators, the ethicists, the journalists, the PR experts, and even the lawyers that deal with all those patents, to kind of come together and then make the most out of that. The end.
Awesome.
That was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I got a lot of good
So
stuff.
when